Whether you are a beginner or a seasoned pro with digitally pattern drafting in Adobe Illustrator, you need to check out the Dimensions tool. Hi, I'm Christina, and I love to digitally pattern draft, creating unique pieces of wearable art. And today I'm going to be diving into the Dimensions tool. This is a new feature that Adobe has released recently that's going to help you measure out line lengths. Unfortunately, it is still restricted to straight line lengths. But the other thing, it also does two other things. It can also help you know the angles of the different corners you're making, so you can make sure you're getting into those 90 degrees, as well as radiuses of circles. Let me bring up my Adobe Illustrator board here, and I have some half-scale pants that we're going to just kind of be playing around with and working with this dimension tool. You can find this dimension tool right here, and as you can see, it actually pops up another little box so you can choose. So we have the straight line linear dimension tool, then we have the next one here that is the angle dimension tool, and then we have the third one, which is the radial dimension tool for circles. So we're just going to start by going through and starting with the linear one. All you have to do is click and it starts, go to the other edge and click. Then it's going to then pop it up before it like fully finishes it. You can decide how close or far away from that part you want it. So then we're going to do one more click, and there we have how wide that pant leg is. And we can do the same for the other side of the pant leg. Can double check, make sure you're happy with it, and click to have it set down. So then we know we have basically 4 1/3 and 4.43. So we know our pant leg is just under 9 inches. It's somewhere in the 8.75 era. So that's a really handy tool to be able to have. You can definitely check the depth of your darts going down and have it label so you can kind of see what's happening where. And then so that you can be double checking that type of stuff. That is a super handy thing so that you don't always have to cut up your patterns, or you don't have to draft lines and then, it's basically drafting the line for you and then also labeling it. How cool is that? The next one we're going to jump into is the angle tool. This one's super helpful for when you're trying to get your pants or all your seams to be trued and you want to have that right angle. So you can click on one, click on the other, and then you can pull it in. We're at 90.04, or you can pull it to the out. So it is going to be able to tell you either or, and whichever way you click. So I'll click on the inside, and then this one we'll click on the outside, so you can kind of see which way it works. So that is a super handy feature. We're going to click on this one and check it. So this is actually 92.15. What is handy is if I was to pull in this anchor point and drop it, it's going to change it not as I'm pulling it, but as I drop it, so that I can actually get my corners trued up and it is reacting to that as it goes. I find that is the most handy thing to be able to have, because then if you have those perfectly square corners and you're truing up everything, it's nice that you don't have to go back into the tool and re-find it. The last one, let's get back on that tool, is the radial tool, or the radial angle. So this is going to tell us the radius. So if you just go ahead and click right on it, it's going to tell you the radius. If you click and then click and then drag in, you can see it's actually going to show you the diameter. This is going to be super helpful for like circle skirts or capes, so that you can, anything that you're working with a circle. Now the one thing that I did see is if you do have a curve, you can click on it and it's going to tell you what the radius of that point of the curve is. However, it's different for each point of when you have a curve like that. So unfortunately, that's not going to help us yet. However, the fact that it can do that, even though it's not even a full circle, makes me hope that this tool will be expanding soon and will actually be able to help you know the length of a curved line, because that would be ideal. If you would be able to know the length of a curved line without having to cut up your pattern, I would be so very happy. So the last thing I am going to go over is, now we have all these different things kind of all over. So, and what if there's ones that you don't want anymore? I don't want these radial ones in the crotch of my pants. So all I have to do is get on my select all and delete. So it's a very easy select it and delete it. And it will clean up your pattern right away so that it can all be gone. Nice and easy. Now, I know I said that was the last thing I want to talk about, but I realized I also did not talk about the settings. So we want to also go into the settings, and you can actually change up a lot of these to whatever you want. So we have the units, so you can always make sure that it always stays in feet and inches, you know, there's all these different ones depending on how you want to do it. I like to kind of keep it with the document unit, because then if you are using one unit for one document and another unit for another document, while you're working in that document, you probably know which units you're working in. So it's kind of helpful to always keep it within the document. Then the precision, you can have it go all the way to 3 decimal places. So that's a really awesome tool, I think, if you're wanting to get the super, super precise. Now it even has fractions down to the 1/4 inch. And for pattern drafting, to the 1/4 inch is not quite as precise as I would like to be, mostly because a 1/4 inch is a lot. If it went down to 1/8, I might be tempted, but even still, I like to be precise down to the 1/16 of an inch. Only because depending on what you're doing, it can really matter, the 1/16 of an inch. So I always keep mine on the decimal point, but here, let's change it to the 1/4 inch just so that you can kind of see. And then of course, there's a whole bunch of other things that you can change. You can change the line weight, the type of line. There are so many different arrows to pick from. You could definitely have your pick of arrows everywhere. Check it out. It even has little fingers and cuts. That's fun. I didn't see that the first time. And then it goes into also the text. What do you want the text to come out, and the size, so you can always see it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. We did change it to the closest to a 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That's 4.5. This one's probably also going to go 4.5, because this one was 4.3 and this one was 4.4. So, you know, we're probably about 1/4 of an inch off of this measurement for actual pattern drafting when you have it set to the closest 1/4 of an inch. That is your choice on what you want it to do. Oh, I didn't change to the right tool to do that. Let's just do that. 4.5, 4.5. Perfect. So it's just, that again is your opinion. What do you like? I like to be a little bit more precise than what it is showing when it's in that. So I'm definitely going to go back in and change that to my decimal points. So definitely let me know what you think about this new dimensions tool. I'd love to know if you used it, what's your favorite new use for the dimensions tool, as well as what are you patterning right now? I would love to know. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe so you can continue to see other fun ways to digitally draft, as well as some deep dives into the tools that come out for Adobe Illustrator or Clo 3D. I look forward to seeing you in some of my other videos. Happy patterning!